Good morning, Vietnam, or something.
Hey.
Hey, Vietnam. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Review's Hop Takes. As always, I am Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And we have a special guest with us. She's gone. She's a little camera shy, Miss Gretchen. So, our old man Tucker's back there too. So, we have got some beer on tap for all of you tonight. So we've done a few things from Revolution Brewing Company out of Chicago in the past. It is November. It is barrel-aged beer season. And we wanted to try some of their 2022 releases of some pretty tasty stuff. So we are going to try two beers from them tonight. We are going to try their Deth, and we are going to try their Cafe Deth, which is a coffee-infused version of their base barrel-aged stout. Now, Ross, our good friend Maggie Skinner is the sales lead here in Wisconsin for Revolution Brewing Company. She gave us a few little notes about what's coming and some other neat stuff from Revolution. You want to tell us a little bit about what's happening?
Yeah, so within the next week, they're going to be releasing, outside of the Deth cards already been releases in the market, a couple different of their straight jackets. It's their regular straight jacket, and I believe it was their Ryway
to Heaven.
Ryway to Heaven. Yeah, Ryway to Heaven straight jacket.
And Ryway to Hell would work too. They probably should put that beer out if it doesn't exist already.
That's a good point. Which is two barley wines. We did do a review on those last year's version, I think it was. Really good barley wine. I think both Josh and I would agree it's one of the better barley wines we've ever had.
Might be the best. Pretty darn close.
And then in January, sometime in January, they're releasing two different variants of the straight jacket. I forgot the name. I knew I'd forget.
While you're looking that up, tomorrow, well, actually, never mind. I'm not even going to mention that because by the time this video is released, it won't matter. So, Ross, you found it.
Yeah, so the other one's going to be a Boss Ryway and a double barrel, very special old straight jacket is what's coming out. So I don't know a lot of details on them. I just know that it's one of the better barley wine series you're going to find in the market. So definitely look out for those. As Josh was going to mention that there's an event going on tomorrow at Ray's Growler Gallery. So I would very much assume you can find any of their variants and everything at Ray's if you're looking for them when they start coming out. So
fair enough. We got to figure out a way to get our hands on all of those beers that you just mentioned. Until then, though, let's kick this thing off with Deth. They changed the packaging a little bit this year to this new gold skull-infused can. It's different. It's actually pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. And one thing they are doing with this one this year is they did release this in 19.2 ounce cans also, which I think is pretty cool. Because then, since they don't do bottling, that's kind of a cool way to still get something that would be a shareable beer with people.
Yeah, these are the 12-ounce cans, clearly. These come in at 14.8%, which is the perfect kind of beer you want to be drinking by yourself on a Wednesday. So yeah, let's crack these things open and get it in the glass. And Ross, I'm curious what you decided to pour into tonight, because I've got my fancy Lakefront Black Friday. Yeah,
I got my nice little glasses from Untappd.
So. Nice. It's a good one. Yeah. It's a good one too. All right. Should pour out nice and dark, which it is.
It's got that nice, like, barrel-aged head going right off the bat. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing you notice as you pour. That little tan kind of brownish head, which is always a good sign.
Heavily carbonated. I could hear the carbonation bubbles fizzing. So very fresh, very well carbonated. That head dissipated very, very quickly. And I can already see the alcohol legs just on the little bit that I'm sloshing this around in my glass. So 14.8% is snooze-worthy.
And to your point on freshness, so it's the middle of November right now. This was canned or filled at the end of September, so relatively fresh. It's fresh, because it sits a little bit before they release it. But
it's been a long time since I've had Deeth's Tar. Let's get a little nose on it.
Oh man,
very spirit forward.
Go ahead. So
I was just gonna say it's a very nice bright bourbon note on the nose. That like Imperial Stout notes are buried behind that. Like it is definitely the star. The spirit is the star here.
Yeah, I mean that's got one of the stronger bourbon notes on the nose I think we've had in a while. I like to kind of give it a nice little spin and see if I can get it doesn't need it. Like you can from right here I can still smell kind of that bourbon coming off of it. And to your point, it's a good rich note. It's not like it's burning or anything. It's really smooth.
Yeah, you do get a little bit of that traditional stout character behind it. A little sweet, a little vanilla. I'm not getting much fudge or anything like that. Maybe a little dark fruit, but it's mostly bourbon on the nose. Let's try this thing out, eh? Cheers.
Cheers. It's so smooth. You get that good bourbon kind of notes throughout. That nice kind of like a little bit of smoky oak from the barrel obviously coming through. I know it's got a little bit of like a nice vanilla and fudginess to it. Not much, but it's there. But the smoothness of this is unbelievable.
The viscosity on this is a little toned down. It's a little bit thinner. I actually like that though. I think the way that this hits the palate, like the front, you get that bourbon character that you get on the nose is pretty heavy, but it's smooth. There's no bite to it. It's very, very smooth, very easy to drink. That lingers, that sticks through all the way through the back end. And then you get that vanilla character and kind of a little bit of a light chocolate, and maybe some dark fruit in there in the middle of the palate. But what sticks around is vanilla and bourbon, I think, to me, out the back end of this beer. That is really good. We just finished a 6-year vertical of Lakefront's Black Friday, which if you haven't seen that video, link in the description. This is on par with or better than every beer we tried in that vertical, in my opinion.
What's amazing about this is you and I both poured it. We said wow, that's really carbonated. Which had me like a tinge worried because sometimes you get that really heavy carbonation for a barrel aged beer. The taste and everything just dissipates and kind of comes off as something like you're drinking like a soda instead of like a beer.
Yeah.
All that carbonation I saw when I poured it and heard, it doesn't even exist as you drink it. The smoothness and to me it drinks thick. It does drink like a thicker beer. But I just think it's packed with flavor. It's got a lot of depth in its flavor. It's just really well done.
Yeah, this is good. If I'm rating this one, putting this on Untappd, I'm probably going a 4.25 on this beer. I think it's really, really good. I kind of leaned the 4.5 direction a little bit, but I think I'm going to temper that at a 4.25. It's really, really good though.
I'm not at 4.5. I think this is I think it's I wouldn't say it's a high end 4.5. I would say it's a low end 4.5. It's a 4.5 for me. Especially being like a base of a series, it's just so well done, and it's got enough flavor where it's really flavorful here, but there's enough kind of to play with to add something else to it, like they normally do. They always do a couple of different variants of this, which we'll see in a second.
This might be a base just because there are variants on this this is a standalone beer, in my opinion. It needs no variants. This does not need any adjuncts, nothing. It's a standalone beer, for sure. That's really good. I say that, and then we're going to jump into a variant. So let's hit that up. So this is called Cafe Deth. It is Deth, not Death, from what I understand, based on one of the head brewers or owners there's last name. But this is the same beer, except they steep this one with coffee. They specifically state here an apparition of fresh roasted coffee. So this is going to be that same essentially base beer with coffee in it. And it is dark matter coffee out of Chicago. So pretty cool looking can. Again, I like that. It's a pretty slick look with the demons on there. Pretty awesome. So let's get this one poured out.
Yeah, and this also comes in at a nice hefty 14.8%. So, if you have one, why not two?
Why not two on a Wednesday?
On a Wednesday night.
I have another Black Friday glass.
I have another Untappd glass.
Yes. So looks very, very similar coming out of the can.
Yep.
Quite a bit of carbonation. Head is dissipating a little slower on this one. I maybe poured it a little bit more aggressively, but pretty much gone at this point. Again, very similar look, very dark. Can't see much light through that.
No.
Shall we get a little nose on it?
We shall.
Woo.
Ooh.
Hello, coffee.
Yeah, that is very very coffee forward. There's still that bourbon behind it, and you get a little bit of that. Coffee is such a powerful scent, though, when done well. That's the dominant scent. I mean, you're not getting much behind that.
Good for you getting bourbon. I'm just getting coffee.
It's there. There's a little bit of bourbon. It's faint, but it's there.
All right.
Yeah.
Check this thing out. Cheers.
Really good. This is one you gotta like coffee for. And I know it seems kind of idiotic to say, considering it's a Cafe Deth, but we've had coffee beers before. I'm sure anyone who's drinking enough barrel-aged beers or stouts, you get some beers to take coffee, and it's just kind of faint. It's not really there. It's more of an adjunct than anything else. This is very strong coffee flavor. I'd say there's a little bit of vanilla coming through, which kind of adds, like I said, creaminess to it. But you gotta like coffee for this.
Agreed. It's a good coffee note, but definitely adds a ton of bitterness up front. Very, that bitter coffee character, however smooth. I think for me, similar to the nose, the coffee covers up the bourbon pretty heavily on this. Like, if you just handed this to me and told me it was a Imperial Stout with coffee, I would probably not question that, quite frankly, because it's hard to find the bourbon in here. I'm not saying it's not there. It's just very, very subdued. But definitely vanilla, another strong character, which you and I have both said many a times we really appreciate in these types of beers. And I love coffee. So that coffee note combined with that vanilla character and that little bit of bourbon that's coming through, this is a 4.5 for me. This is a 4.5.
And as good as this is, I like the other one better. I like the regular cafe. I'm sorry, the regular Deth better. So this is a really, 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 really strong 4.25. Like that's, I guess, the best way to put it. Like they're both probably very similar scores, but one's just got a little bit of uptick and just show the separation. One's a 4.25, one's a 4.5. But they're phenomenal. They're so well done. Like
They are.
Revolution did such a good job with their barrel age program. It's amazing what they can do and the flavor they can pack into these.
I know we're not like busting down walls, you know, notifying everybody how great Revolution is. There's a lot of people that know that already, but there's some people that don't. And if you're passing up Revolution when you see it on the shelf, don't, because it is phenomenal stuff. Probably one of my favorite out of Wisconsin breweries.
I would agree.
That exists. Just everything that I get from them is just phenomenal.
They got a good year-round program. I mean, they got some good stuff out there that you can find. Like Anti-Heroes, their big IPA. Eugene Porter's fantastic. But if you can get their any of these or their straight jackets, I would strongly suggest it. I know the other variant they have this year that I've seen is the Black Currant Thief.
Yes,
I've seen it at bars. I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I just know it's at bars and everything. I think Brass Tap in Greenfield currently has all three on tap. Obviously, Ray's Growler Gallery will have some stuff on tap after tomorrow, it looks like. So definitely get out and try these if you haven't had a chance to yet. If you haven't had these ever, really get out and try them. You're really going to enjoy them.
Next time we get together, Ross, we're going to have some of the vanilla from last year because I still haven't cracked one, but we're going to have it. So, hey, really, really good stuff from Revolution here. Little bit longer hop takes. I would say this is not our quick hitter normal hop takes, but we're like, we got to get both of these on the channel. Yeah. And it's the holiday season, so we're a little busy on the weekends and wanted to get this content out to you guys. So really, really good stuff here. Check us out on the rest of our social media. We are on Facebook. We are on Untappd. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out. We are up to 126 subscribers as of today. Very, very exciting. Happy to be sharing all this great content with the community. And we're going to keep buying beer and keep drinking it for all of you to see what we think, if you care. So stay tuned. A lot more to come. And we'll see all of you in a future episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.